Hey, you guys, I'm back. Uh, I don't even know where to start, so we'll just get into it by introducing where we are. It's March 21st, 2021. It has been 7 days or 6 days short of an exact year from the last time we were here. And it has been almost an entire year since you guys have seen a video from me. Yeah. Sorry about that. I had a lot of things go on last year that, things happen, and I know there's at least a couple of you that were waiting for specific videos to come out. I lost everything. Well, yeah. Let's just get into the. We'll just briefly discuss the whole COVID thing. So yeah, last year we were locked down by this point. If those of you who are not in Michigan aren't aware, we are still in some sort of lockdown, the whole 15 days to flatten the curve, save the planet and all that BS. I'm going to try not to talk too much about the COVID garbage and my political views, only because that's not what this channel is supposed to be about. We've got a new commander-in-chief in office. That's all I'll say about that. Hopefully there's some bigger things coming, but time will tell. So, to just glance over that, what happened last year? So, the last video you guys saw from me was from Cedar Creek on March 27th. So I had ridden Little Manistee and Holton Loop. Holton Loop I had done with my youngest daughter, and I had a couple other videos that were kind of in the works. Not really sure what happened, because traditionally I will take my memory card from my camera and at least transfer all my video files onto my computer, and then I can work on these projects as I have time. I got a little swept up in all the
this southwest loop, I think that just takes us back around in a circle. So I'm going this way.
Should have gone to the left. I didn't remember where I was supposed to go. I'm by myself today. Definitely should have gone left. So just keep that in mind, guys. So I got kind of caught up in trying to find, what the reality of things was with this virus and everything else. The mainstream media, they've pushed their agenda pretty hard for over a year now, and I just got kind of swept up in it, and didn't have the time that I normally would have to spend producing these videos without being on the road like I typically am for work.
Got a little too wild on that one.
Just was a little loose on that berm, and climbed the top, and it just slingshotted me off of the trail. But yeah, so normally, most of you guys probably don't know, I work as a technical service rep And so I'm typically on the road, which means for me, typically in the evenings, 4 or 5 days a week, I'm sitting in a hotel room, which obviously when you're sitting in a hotel room for 6 to 8 hours at a time with nothing to do, it gives me plenty of time to do this kind of stuff. Well, without being able to travel thanks to the COVID restrictions and my customers not accepting visitors, etc., kind of real life just kind of got in the way. And so I wasn't able to get the videos out that I had shot. And what ended up happening,
cutting her in a little too tight.
what ended up happening,
So, first impression, the Pirelli Scorpion front tire is good. Starcross 5, medium on the rear, feels exactly like I always expect.
So, what I was saying there, I put a Pirelli Scorpion XC front tire on the bike. It's a mid-soft compound, and then I put a Starcross 5 medium compound on the rear. So that's the setup I'm going with today. Normally I run between 10 and 12 pounds in the front and 6 to 8 psi in the rear. Today I was actually running about 16 psi front and rear, just to kind of let you guys know where I run. So where was I? The videos did not get done, basically, is where I was going with what I was saying. I thought that I had transferred the video. Well, actually, I know that I had transferred the video files over to my computer, because I worked on producing them. I was trimming them. I was working on editing different things, and basically, push come to shove, I never got them done. And when I went to produce them, the files were gone. No idea what happened, but those files don't exist anymore. So, my first race last year was at Valley Trail Riders. Again, a video that I had footage of. I had begun to edit it, and I lost that file as well. That was going to be my last, I guess, ride, really, on my 2013 YZ250F. I, shortly after that race, ended up selling both my 250F and my 2001 YZ250 two-stroke, and I ended up upgrading to a brand new, well, it was brand new right off the showroom floor, but it was a 2019 model YZ450FX.
Definitely race mode, throttle response.
So that's the bike I'm riding now, is the 450FX.
Alright.
And I think what I'm saying here is, this bike is fuel injected, obviously, and it's Yamaha's the only manufacturer on the market that I'm aware of that has an on-the-fly map switch that not only changes your ignition timing, but also changes your fuel mapping. So on the right side of the bars, every once in a while you'll see kind of a clear covered blue button. That is my selector switch. It holds two maps. So you have one map that is kind of full race mode, and then one map you can put in there that kind of dumbs it down, makes it a lot more rideable in the woods. So when the light is on, that is actually the kind of dumbed down mode. This trail, you know, you can ride in race mode. It's wide enough, it's fast enough.
Damn, that stick just tried to kill me.
You can do it.
I don't know if you guys see that on the video.
It's a lot.
Not, but that caught the shin of my boot.
That
Follow me.
tree branch.
That dug into the ground. It might have caught my shin.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what I was looking at, is trying to figure out what the mapping was on it, because man, this bike is trying to rip my arms off right now. But you know, I did want to ride this trail with it in race mode, just see how it felt. And a little ways up here, I put it in the retarded mode for woods, and it makes it just a lot more rideable. You know, it's more exciting, you know, with it in race mode, but boy, it's a lot more work to ride it in the woods in race mode. So back to the stories at hand. So Valley was the first race that was actually held last year. I had just, I want to say 3 days before that race, I had shimmed the valves on the 254 stroke, and I had done realistically just a quick warm up on the bike and just putzed around the yard for maybe 30 seconds. Never really rode any trails or anything before I went to that first race, and that was a mistake. With it being carbureted, you know, you start adjusting the valves for intake and exhaust, and it can throw off the jetting in the carburetor, and that's exactly what happened. I got to that first race at Valley, I got up to the line, I got a great start. It's hard to remember now without having the video to go back and look, but I was somewhere between second and fourth. I had almost gotten the whole shot. I had gotten about a mile maybe into the track, and I had just made a pass for the lead, and my bike died. What ended up happening, the carburation had been thrown off by shimming the valves, and the bike started to flood itself out. And once that happened, I could not get the bike restarted. I spent the entire rest of the race trying to get the bike refired and just get back to the truck. So my wife, being the loving creature that she is, said, we are not going to another race again where the bike is the reason you don't finish the race. So that was her telling me, you're getting a new motorcycle. So hence the reason why I bought the 2019 450 FX. Now, this bike, I absolutely love it. Had a little bit of growing pains with it. The first race that I did with it was up in Frederick at Fredneck Ranch. That is where I lost my camera, which is why you guys have not seen any footage from me until now. Buying a new camera was not a major priority for me last year. So again, you know, to my subscribers, the guys have been waiting forever for another video from me. I apologize that it took so long, but like I said, there were just other more important priorities. So Redneck Ranch is where I lost my camera. I had just kind of tipped over, and I believe that I kind of know where it happened, but I went back and looked for my camera. I could not find it, and no one else reported finding it ever. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's probably gone forever. But it is what it is. Now, beyond that, the second race that I did on this bike was at Muskegon, or at the Muskegon Motorcycle Club, which is, I can't remember the name of the town actually. It's near Muskegon, but it's not Muskegon. Anyway, doesn't matter. The first lap, I was trying to pass Deck for the lead. Deck got a great start there. He got the whole shot. He was leading, and right before going into the woods, I saw my shot to try and get around him. And, you know, not to say anything negative about Deck, but it was, in my view, the one time that I thought, you know, I can get around him and possibly that can work out to my benefit, where, you know, Deck may have helped kind of slow people up behind me, and I could have maybe gotten a gap, and who knows, maybe actually won one of these races. That's not what happened. There was a existing part of the track that we were not running that kind of crossed over a straightaway that we were running, and so the track dipped down into that rut, and yeah, I knew it was a risk. It was a calculated risk, but I hit that rut at full throttle in fourth gear, and it catapulted me over the bars, and I knocked myself unconscious. And so I ended up having to sit out most of the rest of the season after that, just because that was a pretty severe concussion. Had a lot of issues with dizziness and not being able to ride the way that I needed to do it safely. So, like I said, I missed most of the rest of the race season after that. I think I raced one or two other races on after that. I really can't remember anymore. There was also a lot of things going on with the club. You guys, I am officially now a bent wheeler. So I pledged the club last year officially, and now I am in the bent wheels. We did the Black Lake ride, the fall color tour. We did the pledge ride. You know, we did a lot of things. I did a lot of things last year with the club. Had some fun, and yeah, that, like I said, you know, things just kind of got in the way of doing this. But like I said, I'm back now. I got a new camera. If you guys are interested, this is the Veho Muvi KX2. My old camera was the Veho Muvi K1 or K2, sorry. So this is the newer model of what I used to have. I liked my old camera so much that I wanted to just repurchase that one, especially because you can find them super, super cheap. The issue was that in order to use that camera for this type of filming, you have to be able to have a waterproof case for it, just in case it rains or it's muddy. And that case is no longer available. If you can find it, which I couldn't, no one had it available, but even if you could find it, it's $70 just for the case. So yeah, it was just not gonna happen. So I ended up picking this camera up. Looks to be basically the same as far as its
I don't remember it being this far.
As far as its video quality, it seems to be about the same. This model comes with the waterproof case, so you know that was a bonus. Came with 2 memory cards and a waterproof case. I think it paid $140 for it, and it is a 4K camera. I won't ever shoot in 4K only because it just destroys the battery, and you don't get hardly any recording time. There we go. You saw me. I just flipped it into the woods mode map, and immediately I said, "Oh yeah, this is just way easier to ride."
Way more manageable.
So, happy with the camera. The only downside is my old camera was a 1500 milliamp battery. Seems to be these days just about everything is 1050. So it's a smaller battery, where I used to be able to get about 3 hours of recording in conservative video settings. This one, I think I'm going to be hard pressed to get any more than about 2 hours out of it. You know, time will tell, but yeah, it's looking like 2 hours is going to be about the limit. So chances of me actually getting a footage of a complete race from start to finish are probably going to be pretty slim. But with that said, you know, 2 hours or near 2 hours should be enough time to get decent footage anyways. So it is what it is. Yeah. So with that said, that's kind of what's been going on. Yeah, you know, it's just been kind of crazy. So I had put the studded tires on the bike for winter riding, and things have just been too crazy this year to actually get in any winter riding. So you'll probably hear me breathing pretty hard on this video. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wanted to turn left here, but you saw the trail just kind of flows right. But going right here, I believe takes you kind of straight back to the trailhead or parking lot. So turn around, chase these guys down. I'm not gonna talk too much longer. Yeah, like I said, I just kind of wanted to let you guys know where we were with things, what had happened, why you haven't seen anything from me for a while. So that's kind of the beef on that. I will kind of stop talking, let you guys watch the video. If I need to, I'll just jump in and make some comments. But you know, happy to be back. Happy to be shooting some videos for you. The one thing I want to say in the audio, if you hear kind of a little high-pitched blip, that is something hitting the record button on the camera, whether it's my finger or the record button on this camera is right on the face of the camera. So on occasion, the bar is just the placement of the camera. It's kind of below the chin of my helmet, so it's pretty easy for those bars to bounce up and hit the camera. And it does happen a few times in this ride, and on rare occasions you'll hear that kind of high-pitched blip real quick. It's real brief. It's just as long as that power button gets hit, so it's nothing that should hurt your ears or anything. But that's what that is just the power or the record button being hit. So sorry about that if it's irritating, but yeah, it is what it is. So, like I said, I'm going to stop talking now, and like I said, I'll butt back in if I need to explain anything. But yeah, this is Cedar Creek, and I don't think I did the entire loop again. Yeah, I don't know the trail real well. I've only ridden it once, but on this day I did it in both directions. So the video is a little bit longer, but I thought you guys might want to see it, especially being that I haven't had any video footage out for a while. You know, figured I'd share what I had with you. But yeah, so that's that. And yeah, I'll butt back in where I need to. But I hope you guys enjoy. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, hope to see you guys out there when race season comes around in about a month. I think it's April 25th is the first race at Portland. So hope to see everybody out there. So you probably heard those two little sounds. That's that little noise blip that I was talking about.
Going too slow to start shoving it into these corners in this sand. Don't want to hit that ice without my stud picking. Man, this sand is deep. Forget how deep the sand is over here. I have no idea if you guys can hear me, so I'm just talking. God, this sand is so deep in places. It doesn't even look like I'm turning, but I'm fighting it. Whiskey throttle. trying to just eat me alive right now. Ooh, boy, that's a workout. Amazing that this is an area where there's still snow. Yeah, I feel like my rear tire is out of alignment. Like it keeps wanting to pull me in one direction. I don't like it. Man, my throat's dry.
Start talking trash here, ignore it. That razor was a normal razor with a narrow width. It's perfectly legal to be out here.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, if I'm being real honest here, I'm not sure that that razor is supposed to be out here, but I really don't know. I wasn't really paying any attention, but it seemed like that was a four-seater, and I don't think the four-seaters are narrow enough technically to be on this trail. Whew. How deep the sand is and getting it in my face. Oh man. If Deck had ridden the Kawasaki with me here today, he probably would have been alright. He would have been mad riding the Kawasaki or the KTM here. Oh. Man, you just let off. You just let off and the front end goes right down. Crazy. I think we're about to that bridge. Hard time letting go of the gas. I can't get my hand position just right on it. Remember right, this is where deck had wiped out last spring. slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. This is icy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. see. How'd your sweatshirt do?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I run a Recluse
Okay.
auto clutch. Specifically, I run the Recluse Radius X auto clutch, and I also have a left-hand rear brake. When I first bought this bike, you could not get the Recluse left-hand rear brake. It just wasn't available. They were having issues with manufacturing. Sounds like a lot of the components come out of China, so obviously with everything that was happening with COVID, it was hard for them to get parts. So when I bought this bike back in June last year, I had went with a left-hand rear brake kit called a ox brake. That is a cable-actuated left-hand rear brake rather than the Recluse hydraulic left-hand rear brake, which I traditionally run. The ox brake worked fine. If all I ever did was trail road, I would have stuck with it. But I had just enough little quirks with that left-hand rear brake that I didn't like that I decided to remove that when the hydraulic Recluse left-hand rear brake came back available, and I bought that. So this is the first time riding this bike with the Recluse left-hand rear brake, as well as the headlight that's on there. I put a Squadron Pro headlight on it also. So what you obviously just saw there was I was riding, and the left-hand rear brake lever just flew off the bike. So no idea how or why that happened. Normally everything from Recluse has thread locker on it to keep it from falling apart like that. But yeah, the pivot pin bolts came unscrewed in the first 45 minutes of riding with it, and my brake lever flew off. Luckily, in my past life, I was a machinist, so I have plenty of stuff to fix it, but I had to just pick it up and throw it back in my bag. I almost backed out on doing this second lap, but I thought, well, wait a minute, my rear brake, my foot brake still works, so why would I pack up and go home just because my brake lever is gone? So what you're going to see now is the comparison and how I ride with the hand brake versus the foot brake. Still, of course, with the Recluse auto clutch, so I don't have to use the clutch lever, but I felt like I was actually pushing it a lot harder once I didn't have the hand brake. And, in my mind, I was actually thinking, I wonder if I'll be faster with the foot brake or not. So I think that I kind of got into my head, but, let me know what you guys think about whether or not I was faster with the hand brake or not. Like I said, I did feel like I was riding more aggressively with the foot brake. So that in turn typically equates to faster, but, it's hard to say. Again, with this lap, I did definitely miss some turns, so this is not a complete quote-unquote lap of Cedar Creek, but it's 90% of it. So again, hope you enjoy, and I may or may not be butting in again, so if I don't, thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Both of them are 40%. Yeah, some of these whoops are pretty painful. My back is out of shape. As soon as we hit that corner, the bike almost stopped. That's how deep the sand is in some of these corners. Woo! Woo! Sliding. Hung up by the tree. Come on, man. Joe Biden. Come on, man. Whew. Dude, I cannot stay where I want to on this trail. The sand is so deep in these bank corners that you hit them, and if you're not railing them, you're sliding. And the bike's going sideways through the turn instead of through the turn. That's the problem. You don't know where the sand is really deep. So you roll through a corner like you normally would, and where it's deep, it just eats the front end. Drags you right to a stop. And if you're turning, you'll damn near go over the bars. Oh. Know if I know this part of the trail. I feel like normally I'm coming from the other direction, or from that right side of the fence. Oh, there's another one.